Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Underdog Reacts, and there I am. I watched Freaky Friday from 2003, sorry. Because there's apparently a version from 1977 with Jodie Foster. You know Jodie Foster, yeah, from Silence of the Lambs, But this one is with Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan. Yeah, it was definitely a fun movie, but before we start with that, that's not really important to you, but my grandmother just died today, died today. Luckily it was in her sleep, in the night, so I just heard the news 3 hours ago, so, shit happens, So rest in peace to her, and now I have officially no grandmothers anymore. Still 2 grandfathers, but no grandmothers. Both from my mother's side. So yeah. Shit. Yeah, that. Let's go into the fun news. Yeah, I watched Freaky Friday, but before we start with the movie, I have a second channel on the Eats where food drinks every week on time out as an alcohol, or a third channel on Underdog Reacts where I do primarily music, link down below in the description. Yeah, I'm glad that I watched this movie. I can see the hype. I can see why people like it so much. Because I had a great time with this movie, and I hope that the sequel, Freakier Friday, is gonna be also a great movie, because that movie is coming after this one. Well, I'm gonna watch it after this one, so very excited for this one. For that one, Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan are back in their roles. Yeah, I'm excited. But let's just first start with the first Freaky Friday. Oh, and also, she probably doesn't see this, but happy birthday to one of my subscribers. I'm not gonna, you know, shout out who it is specifically, because I don't know if she wants that specific information out there. So but shout out to her, on her birthday. Yeah, it's a bit fucked up, Her birthday, and I know her, so her birthday, and then my grandma died on the same day. And tomorrow it's Valentine's Day. And I think in 3 days, my other grandmother, who already passed away, rest in peace, it's her birthday. So it's a very hectic month with shit all close together in 1 week, basically. Well, maybe not 1 week, Monday to Friday, but 7 days. So, yeah. Let's just start with Freaky Friday. We're in front of a house, a white house, white picket house, and then we see a girl sleeping. It's Anna, played by Lindsay Lohan, sleeping in the bed, and we see the clock, next to her head, and it jumps to 6 o'clock, and she smashes it, and then we get a fast zoom out shot, and we see now a bit more of her room. We see the bed, and her laying in the room, and the mother comes in, which is played by Jamie Lee Curtis. Tess, I think her name was. And you know, she shakes her leg a bit and says, "Honey, wake up!" And Anna is just not having it. You know, she puts a pillow over her head and said, "No." Then the mom, you know, says some more things, and then she walks off. Um, you know, see her meditating maybe, and then you know, do her nails for a bit and then meditate again. But we're gonna leave that because if you want to know what's gonna happen next, watch the movie yourself. You know, I knew about the concept of the movie. You know, they switched bodies. You know, but I didn't know due to what they switched bodies. And I wouldn't have guessed a fortune cookie. A fucking fortune cookie. Really? That's why they switched bodies? Because you know the mother of the owner, maybe the mother of the, I think the owner of the hostess, gave them a fortune cookie, you know, with something on it, and earthquake, and then they switch bodies the next, you know, at 12 o'clock at night, you know. But a fucking fortune cookie, really? That's really not something that I expected, actually. Funny surprise. And it's fucking bitch, you know, that mother, you know, not Tess, but that mother from the hostess, you know, she fucking tried it again, you know. But then with the grandfather and Harry, which is, you know, the son basically, from not basically the son from Tess, so the little brother of Anna, you know. And then I think the father from Tess. So she tried to switch those at the wedding. Like, really? But luckily, you know, the hostess, she tackled, you know, both of them before they could open their fortune cookie. But really, you tried to do it again? Um, you know, it was something from, and I wanted to go to the practice, no, not practice, but it was the audition, an audition for a band, yeah, for her band. Pink Slip, I think it's called. Not I think, but Pink Slip, I think it's called. Um, and but it was on the day of the rehearsal dinner, you know, from Tess' you know, wedding, and I'm actually on Anna's side, you know, from, you know, just go to the audition, you know, it's just a once in a lifetime opportunity, you know, especially for bands to get big, you know, you have to take that opportunity, you know. And yes, I get it, Tess, it's on your, you know, it's on your rehearsal dinner, but listen to what it's called, rehearsal dinner, you know, it's not the actual wedding, which was the day after, but it's the rehearsal. So it doesn't matter, you know, because she doesn't miss your actual wedding, you know. So I would say, okay, go, you know. And what was his name? Ryan. I think the man was the man that Tess was gonna marry. He also said, "Okay, you go." When they were switched bodies already. But yeah, I was like, honey, it's your rehearsal. It's not your actual wedding. And I get it, it's a special night, but if it's not your actual wedding, you can miss her for this one fucking night. This is very important to her and for the whole band. It's not just for her, it's for the whole band. It's not just, if if you say no to her, you say no to the whole band. You take not only her opportunity away, but also their opportunity. So, and I get it, but it's not your actual wedding. So, like I said, I would say go. If it was my actual wedding, that's different. Then I would say no. It's my wedding. I want you here. It's my wedding. You're my daughter. Or son, or whatever. You're my kid. I want you at my wedding. But if it's a rehearsal, and this is a once in a lifetime opportunity that you can't get again because a band fell out. They I don't know what happened, but they fell out. And then your band got called to get a spot. You can't miss it. Especially if you're just a garage band. Just take it. And luckily Ryan said from go. And I think Jamie Lee Curtis can play guitar in real life. I don't know for sure, but I think she can. And if she can, I hope that she also played the actual guitar in in this movie, because that would be very nice if she actually could it. I know that Lindsay Lohan can actually sing, because she is a Disney star, and that says enough. She's a Disney kid, a Disney child star, so that basically says enough. Um, because every Disney kid can sing. Every child from from the Disney Channel. All those kids, they can definitely sing. Come on. But and probably all the all the girls there can sing. Probably because we have it with Miley Cyrus. She was obviously Hannah Montana. She had a whole singing thingy. We had I think Zendaya was also from Disney. Was it her? Or I'm thinking of somebody else. I think she also had something with music in the Disney shit. So then we have Lindsay Lohan, also Disney star. So I think all the Disney children can sing. I don't know for sure, but that's what I think. But that has also nothing to do with this movie actually. Other than that, Lindsay Lohan sung at the end. Overall, this movie, I really enjoyed it, and like I said, I can see why people like this movie. It's a really good movie, and that's why it deserves a 5 out of 5. Yes, I give Freaky Friday a 5 out of 5. How freaky is that? Then after I'm uploading this review, stopping this review and uploading it, we're gonna watch Freakier Friday, the sequel to Freaky Friday. So I'm very excited for that one. Maybe in the future we're gonna watch Freaky Friday with Jodie Foster. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? I don't know. And I also see here that there's also another Freaky Friday, which is a musical from 2018. So, yeah, there are apparently 4 Freaky Friday movies. And I just knew that 2 exist because, if you look up on Google Freaky Friday and then just enter, you get this movie. You don't get the original movie, from 1977 or 1976 or whatever year it was, No, you get this movie. So, obviously I thought, oh, there are just Freaky Friday and Freakier Friday. No, there are 2 others. Who knew? I didn't. But yeah, I'm gonna leave that. Leave likes, recommend good. Jamie Lee Curtis movie down below in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel. Check out my section on the kids' version food strings every content on my channel. On my first channel on the Reacts, primarily music. Link down below in the description. And see you guys next time. Bye.